So answer 0.04. This is where you can directly find out the frequency of homozygous recessive. We can find out frequency of heterozygous. How much that will be? 2 PQ, no? 2 is 0.2, 0.8 into 0.2. So is it 0.32? And for homozygous dominant? 0.64. But that is all for 1. As I said, if you have to calculate for 2000, 5 or 5000, you calculate accordingly. See, only these numbers will change. The theme will remain the same. Theme will not change. Only numbers will change. Example will change. Formula will remain the same. Yes, check those 3 diagrams and Founder's effect. Ask if there is difficulty. Have a look quickly. Meanwhile, have you attempted the questions from the internals? Any question or difficulty you face while solving? If you have marked, you can ask. Revise quickly, come on. Check those diagrams of graphs of natural selection. Questions are given based on Hardy-Weinberg's equilibrium in the internal. So later on you can attempt, and if you face any difficulty, we will discuss it. But you try to attempt. But it will all depend on the things around it. Other factors, external factors, which character is getting established. That means where character value is good, teacher will try to make sure that most of the individuals will have that B value. But what if the surrounding is changing? The nature may shift, that population may be to the right or the left, or the peripheral values will get more features than the middle value. It all depends on conditions around them. That's the unity. Then you have 8 plus 9 or you do it this way, P plus Q the whole square, then we take Q plus 0.8 square plus 2PQ plus Okay, right now say left का एक one only exchange का so ना point x square बीच में मुझे है 0.8 Yes, anybody, any question? Just check, especially that Hardy-Weinberg part and those graphs. Final value change ना, एक change ना, आत्मरी change frequency will change, frequency will change, but that unity will not change. It will always remain 1. 0.8, 0.2, 0.7, 0.0, 0.65, 0.35. The value will go on. That won't change. It will not change. After migration, they might land beta better. They will try to establish themselves there. They will settle there. They may not go back. Because environment is not a constant, it is changing only. It is changing environment. Highest rate of accuracy. Like how all mammals evolved from arboreal mammals. Initially, mammals were arboreal only, but they gave rise to many other mammals. So that was like this. Similarly, all these marsupials evolved from common marsupial mammals, which got diversified. What is common? Very but they originally derived from this. Now we don't resemble whales, but we are derived from the same arboreal mammals. So okay, check this. Here 4 eras are given because in the 2 diagrams given in the NCERT textbook, they have not included Azoic and Archezoic. If you exclude them and consider only the major changes, then we consider these 4 eras: Proterozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Recent era is Cenozoic. Before that we had Mesozoic era where the reptiles were dominating. Paleozoic era, this is for dinosaurs. Mesozoic for dinosaurs. Mesozoic has Jurassic period. Invertebrates dominated in Paleozoic, and this was dominated by even primitive forms of plants and animals. Now, in this, you will find the layers of sedimentary rocks. Everybody see this diagram carefully. These are the layers of sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed during volcanic eruptions in the particular generation. Yesterday we discussed about it, right? Whenever there is volcanic eruption, lava will come out, it will spread onto the surface. It will form the layer of sedimentary rocks because it is layered rock. And whichever plants and animals get fossilized under it, they are identified. No? We find out the age of this layer of rock, which will coincide with the age of that organism. If this rock is 70 million years old, the fossil also is that many years old. So these are those layers of Earth's crust. These are the layers formed in the past, and these are the layers newly formed now. Every time when volcano will erupt out, it will erupt out on the surface. So the topmost layer is the most recent, and the lower layers are more and more older layers. Now the layers of the rocks and their corresponding age and their corresponding eras and periods are given. Like some of them I mentioned earlier, if you remember, cos decap, Trijucrate, then quaternary and tertiary period. So this is that geological time scale only. See, Mesozoic, Trijucrate, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. Like here they dominated, but then in Cretaceous they became extinct. And Cenozoic era is the era where the birds and mammals flourished. Human evolution you will find only in this. Dryopithecus survived in Miocene epoch of tertiary period of Cenozoic era. But then this is again for understanding the way geological time scale is given. What is given in our textbook is two diagrams. One for evolution of plants and one is for evolution of reptiles, birds and mammals. See a brief account here. These details are only for interpretation to understand the geological time scale better. Have a look. This is mentioned in the book. First cellular form of life appeared 2000 million years ago. You have written the time scale last time. So there this particular time scale is given. Now we started from 20 million, 4.5, 4, 3 and 2. Some of the cells had ability to release oxygen as the light reaction in the photosynthesis. So these are first photosynthesizers. Earliest life was heterotrophic, anaerobic. Later on, autotrophic nutrition started and aerobic living also started. Correct? Single cell organism became multicellular organisms. Single cell organisms are Monera and Protista. Multicellulars are fungi, plantae and animalia. This was way back in Proterozoic era. Paleozoic. Cos decap. Remember the sequence. Again, this is given in the textbook. Have a look. 500 million years ago, invertebrates were formed. 450 million years ago, first land organisms, plants appeared. That means when invertebrates were formed 500 million years, there were no land plants. This is the meaning of that. 500 million years is older than 450, right?
Yes.
400 million years ago, arthropods invaded the land. 350 million years ago, jawless fish evolved. Example of jawless fish: Orgasm, cyclostome, Petromyzon and Lipsin. Lobe fins, very important. They had stout and strong fins. Because of strong and stout fins, they could crawl on the ground. They could move on the land and go back to the water. They came on the land. They did not have any respiratory organ which could be used on land. They had gills only. So they came on the land, went back. Or they remained on that part of the land which is wet enough to have water for breathing. Then some of them might have developed lungs. Now gills as well as lungs. So gills they used in water and lungs they used on land. So lung fishes are supposed to be the intermediates between fish and amphibian. See, jawless fish were evolved. Lobe fins, stout, strong finned fish could move on land and go back to water. They evolved into first amphibians, ancestors of modern day frogs and salamanders. But then they must have evolved pulmonary sacs, means lungs, which would have helped them to survive on land. So sequence is like this, lobe fin gave rise to first amphibians. Write it there in the book. Which are the ancestors of modern day frogs and salamanders? Lobe fins evolved into first amphibians and they are the ancestors of modern frog and salamander, modern day frogs and salamanders. Because this can be little confusing. If it is asked who were the ancestors of modern frog, you should not say lobe fin. First amphibians.
So lobe fins bony fish are
Yes, lobe fins are bony fish only. I mean modified bony fish, and those who developed lungs also, they must have turned into first amphibians. Amphibians have lungs, gills in the larval form, and respire with skin as well. That means they must have lost their scales. Amphibians, they don't have exoskeleton as they breathe with the help of their skin. Alright? The impression of the lobe fin. Have a look. In the year 1938, this is also given in the textbook, a lobe fin called coelacanth was caught in South Africa, which was thought to be extinct. But the sample of lobe fin showed that they did not become extinct. This is that lobe fin. Check this. Lobe fin fish, early amphibian, ichthyostagia, and they evolved into frogs and salamanders. You know the term ichthyo is related to fish. Aquatic, chondric type and optic type. Common part is ichthyte. Ichthyology, study of fish. So the term ichthyo is for aquatic. And they were initially partly aquatic, partly terrestrial. Paleozoic, 320 million years ago, seaweeds and few plants were existed. What do you mean by seaweeds? Marine algae, especially brown algae and red, Pheophyceae and Rhodophyceae. Marine examples, marine algae are seaweeds, and few plants existed. Amphibians evolved into reptiles. They laid thick-shelled eggs. I mean, amphibian eggs are covered with jelly layers, but reptilian and bird eggs are covered with a calcium shell. Because now amphibians laid their eggs in water, but reptilians laid their eggs on land. So extra protection was given by that calcium shell. Giant ferns such as pteridophytes were present, but they all fell to form coal deposits. Coal, one of the examples of fossil is the remnant of this giant ferns, pteridophytes. Also, during the evolution of pteridophytes, there were some ferns which produce seeds. Modern ferns or pteridophytes don't bear seeds. But in the evolutionary history of plants, there were seed ferns. Mesozoic era, this is of reptiles, I mean dinosaurs. Age of reptiles and gymnosperms. Age of reptiles and gymnosperms means they dominated the earth. Three periods, Triassic, right? Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. $20 million years ago, some of the land reptiles went back into water to evolve into fish-like reptiles. Ichthyosaurs. Saurs is for reptile and this is for fish. I told you. This example is given. Ichthyosaurs. Ichthyosaurs are the reptiles which moved back into water and evolved into ichthyosaurs. And this was 200 million years ago. Land reptiles were dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus, Triceratops. Some of these examples are there in the form of diagram. Stegosaurus, etc. Have a look. This is in Mesozoic era, golden age of dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus rex was the largest dinosaur, 20 feet in height. Carnivorous, huge, fearsome, dagger-like teeth. Teeth were quite sharp and long. Toothbirds means Archaeopteryx. This is the modern era, I mean the era in which we are living, age of mammals and angiosperms, two periods, tertiary and quaternary. 65 million years ago, dinosaurs suddenly disappeared. Some say climatic changes killed them, some say, I mean there is no real reason known, but it may not be one reason. It could be a multiple factors responsible for extinction of dinosaurs. Over-specialization leads to extinction because there will be lot of limitations to adjust to the new sudden conditions, climatic conditions. So ice age was one definite reason. Apart from that, there could be some more reasons for the extinction. First mammals were shrew-like. Do you know shrew? Like a rat, but shrew has pointed snout. Am I? Grey body, short legs, rat-like, but pointed snout. Snout is pointed. This is shrew, and it was tree shrew, arboreal. And all the present-day mammals, including human, are evolved due to adaptive radiation of this shrew. So if you trace back our history or history of any mammal, we will arrive at this example. Trishu. In South America, there were mammals resembling horse, hippopotamus, bear, rabbit, etc. But due to continental drift, when South America joined North America, these animals were overridden by North American fauna. Means because of the competition with North American animals, they became extinct. Due to continental drift, Australian marsupials survived because of the lack of competition and lack of those predators. Then you can take one more example of continental drift with reference to the habitats along the coast of Karnataka. There is one district in Karnataka near the coast called Udupi. In that region, there is one island called St. Mary's Island. The rock formation on the St. Mary's Island, the habitat, the soil composition, the plant composition is very similar to part of Madagascar. I mean, when the continents were together, Madagascar and certain parts of India were together. And because of the continental drift, our Indian plate moved northward. We were in south hemisphere. But because of that drift, our entire plate moved northward. Madagascar remained close to Africa, and the whole of the Indian plate moved towards north, crossed the equator and struck the Asian plate, where we have Himalaya. Heard of it, right? Yeah. So that is also an example of continental drift. And Western Ghats were there since ages. Himalaya is recently formed. So when it comes to biodiversity and when carbon dating is carried out in the soil of Himalayas and that of Western Ghats, you will find Western Ghats much older than Himalaya. That is one more example of continental drift. Yeah, these two diagrams I was talking about, they are there in the book. Just keep the books open and have a look. This is relatively easier to understand. Always think that on the left you have primitive and on the right you have advanced creatures. So as per this, forget extinct animals. Forget extinct animals. These are surviving today. So if asked, as per this diagram, which is the most ancient reptile? The answer is turtle. And most advanced? Reptile. Crocodile. Reptile. Then birds and mammals. And birds are very close to dinosaurs. At some point of time, their ancestors were common. One line evolved into dinosaurs and one line evolved into birds. Dinosaurs are closer to birds than to turtles. Although turtle and dinosaurs both are reptiles, but as per the tree of human evolution, you will find dinosaurs are more close to birds than the turtles. See how mammals got diversified from reptiles. Early reptiles, which are now extinct, evolved into sauropsids and synastids. We are a continuation of synastids. Rest all are the belonging to sauropsida. So, ekdam primitive sauropsida is turtle. And then gradually lizards and then finally the most advanced crocodile. And that is evident from the heart, 4-chambered heart. Here also 4-chambered heart. So that way these three are related. Warm-blooded. Birds are warm-blooded. Crocodile, cold-blooded. Why? Mixing of heart. What we had? ductus arteriosus. That duct which joins the two aortae. Just check any doubt or difficulty. This we will do next time. This and the remaining part. Probably in one more lecture, this will get over. But you solve the internal. We will solve some problems based on RD window. To attempt first. If there is any difficulty, we will discuss it. Okay. So only this part is left and human evolution that way. Except that, solve everything. Target तुम्ही सुरू केलंय? दिलंय तुम्हाला?